what made it so hard in the second half for defensively? Limiting getting to you guys.
Yeah, I think we didn't have a lot of patience in the second half, and then our rushed offense, didn't get a bunch of quality looks, and then it affected our defense. Honestly, we got some fouls early, which I thought made us a bit softer than we needed to be, and then it was just. Then when we did get good looks, they didn't go down. So.
You mentioned the defense became a little softer. Was that the main issue in your eyes on that end of the floor in the second?
Yeah, I think it was, like I said, our offense affected our defense, and that can't happen. And so.
Chris, the amount of good looks it seemed like you had from three. I mean, how do you feel just about?
Yeah, I think there are a lot of good shots out there. I think we got to clean things up a little bit. Sometimes the passes were late. Sometimes we weren't quite shot ready. Sometimes we need to turn them into other plays. But I did think that we got a number of really good looks. And we really couldn't connect when the game was kind of turning against us. So.
And Julius was great in the first half, and then did they just really kind of load up on him in the second half?
I didn't see necessarily anything different. That's on me. I got to get him the ball. I got to get him more involved to start that second half. So,
Coach, it seemed like coming in this game again, you guys have really put a lot of pressure on the rim in the first two series, and then kind of in game one of this when you guys only had 20 points in the paint. What would you say, just from your vantage point, was the biggest thing that kind of hindered from you guys being able to do that?
Well, they got 5 guys in the paint at any given time, so
Chris, the bench, specifically Dante and Nas, didn't have a great series before. Is it just a matter of them being cold tonight, or what do you see there?
Yeah, a little bit of that. Like I said, we had some good looks. I thought we had some rushed looks too, and then but we got to do a better job of repeating the things that we know we can find out there, and getting a better rhythm, and those shots will go in. So.
Chris and Jaden, he was pretty good when he did get the shots. Does he need to get a little bit more involved in what's going on?
Yeah, I thought he turned down a bunch of looks at times in the second half. I thought he turned down some looks in the second half. So, but yeah, 5 shots is probably not enough for him.
Chris, Rudy gets the 2 fouls in the first minute of the game comes out. How much of his performance tonight do you think was about him maybe getting out of rhythm with that versus what he could do more of to give you more production?
Yeah, I don't know about, obviously 2 fouls in a minute and 38 seconds or whatever it was into the game. I thought the second one was a little, unforgiving. I thought it was certainly. But yeah, we weathered that storm pretty well. I just kind of went. I just kind of wanted to go with a more small, skilled lineup. When we got down to see if I could change the complexion of the game. As Rudy was a -2. He was actually one of our better plus-minus guys. So, it's not nothing Rudy did or didn't do tonight. It was just got some early foul trouble, and then I tried to do something else. So.
Finch, forgive me if I missed this in the beginning, but Ant's ankle, was that bothering him? Did you talk to him about it? I know he came back in, and then was it 4 fouls?
He said it was a bit sore at halftime, but he said he would be fine. So yeah. No, we didn't talk about it yet. So.
Coach, because you sense some of the frustrations that some of your players had with some of the calls that Shea was able to draw.
Yeah, there was a lot of frustration out there, but we talked about that before the series started. We have to be able to kind of put that aside and get on with the next play mentality. So,
Chris, that was the fewest 3-pointers the Thunder's attempted in a game this season. Mm-hmm. How did you defend them that sort of led to that, or is that something you were trying to do?
I don't know. I think they were getting downhill, so they weren't really looking to kick out a whole lot. So I'm not sure how much it was on us. So.
Talked about maybe making some plays out of some of those kickouts. You talked about maybe making some extra plays out of those kickouts. The 51 threes, a lot were good looks, but would you like to see a little bit more variance within the offense?
Yeah,
there?
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I thought for the most part, we got some good looks, but I thought some were rushed, as we talked about, and some were kind of, guys when they're struggling to shoot, sometimes they want to just see one go in. And, we definitely need to find a rhythm in this series. Every series is a little bit different, how people guard you and whatnot. And, we can't – I thought we came out and tried to play the same way we always did, and that wasn't going to work tonight. So we got to figure out kind of a different rhythm to play. So.
Chris, you had a tough shooting night in Game 1 against the Warriors, but you guys were able to bounce back really well in that series. What do you draw from that, if anything, in this series right now?
Yeah, I mean, it's Game 1. They won at home. Congrats to them. They played really well. There's another game in 2 days. So,
do you have any? What would you have liked to see more of? You talked about how to find different ways to play offensively. Like, what in your mind are things that you can do offensively?
We got to pick up our decision making. We definitely got to play with more force. We got to play with more, pass combinations, and we got to go somewhere a little bit quicker. So,
does a packed paint sometimes cause some indecision? I guess when you look at what's in front of you.
I think a little bit more, a lot of useless ball screens for me. It was less about the packed paint. We kind of created our own congestion at the top of the floor unnecessarily. So that's something we need to look at. So.
Any other questions? Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.